Hey, you guys, this is Nina. Welcome back. Like, share, and subscribe. Right now, we are doing a live broadcast. We'll be talking about everything going on as far as the incident Monday with Central Park Karen, as well as what's going on in Minnesota with the George Floyd murder situation. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. You guys can reach me through chat. I am in process of first gaining 100 subscribers, and then I will start opening up a telephone chat. So please hit that like button, share this, um, share this broadcast. I definitely want to hear from you guys. There is a lot going on, and it is very disparaging and hurtful right now. And I say that because, you know, and I'm not even going to try to just, well, let me just come out and say it. I don't like what has been going on this week, previous weeks, and previous months. The things going on right now in Minnesota is a culmination of all of the anger toward the judicial system that blacks and other minorities have been enduring now for decades. Decades. Now, let me just start you guys with this thought. Let me take you guys back to the mid 50s and let's discuss a teenager by the name of Emmett Till. Emmett Till went down south. I believe it was Mississippi. I'm gonna have to double check, but I do believe he went to Mississippi for a summer. And a white girl said that he whistled at her. Later that night, several white men kidnapped him from where he was staying at. I believe he was staying at one of his relatives' houses. He was dragged out and he was tortured for hours, and his body was later found in the river, and he had been brutally beaten. All because someone said that he did something. And she later admitted, I believe she admitted about 20 years ago that this didn't actually happen, and she lied. Now, I'm saying this to you guys, and by the way, if you can, if you're not familiar with your history, I would highly suggest that you guys go ahead and Google Emmett Till so you guys can get some more information about this. And like I said, I'm just trying to regurgitate what I remember, but I do believe that this did happen in Mississippi, and this happened around 1955. So, what I would like to add to this is this young black man was brutally tortured and beaten, and God knows what else until he passed away. And his mother chose to have an open casket to show the extent of her son's injuries. Okay. Now, I'm saying this to you guys because there was a situation similar to this that happened with Central Park Karen, which I will be discussing. Now, to update you guys on the completely crazy story of Central Park, Karen, which happened on Memorial Day. Uh, this lady by the name of, I know her last name is Cooper, was walking her dog in Central Park and got upset with a black man that asked her if she could put her dog on a leash because she was walking her dog in an area of Central Park where they had to be on a leash mandatory. So, you guys are welcome to look at the story. It's all over the web. I am not going to post it on here because, I don't know if it's copyrighted material. But she went on to say to him that she was going to call 911 and lie and say that this man was assaulting her or beating her up and she needed police assistance. Now, this actually triggered something in me to think back to what happened with Emmitt Till. You have a black man that is not harming anyone, but yet allegations of falsehood were brought upon him to where he could have ended up just like George Floyd, whom I am about to discuss in a moment. I'm saying this because the killers in the Emmitt Till case were never convicted. I haven't even heard of a viable discussion of Central Park Karen, Miss Cooper, even being charged with a false police report. And these cases are some of the reasons why people feel being black in America is not only killing us, but it has frustrated us to a point where people are tired of marching and singing kumbaya, and then the next thing come up and the same thing. Most of the time, the people committing acts against us are not even prosecuted and convicted. They might be charged, but not convicted and not serving doable time the same way we would if the situation was reversed. Now, moving on to this next tragic case, which has actually become basically the match that lit the gasoline this week. And this happened the same day or around the same time of the Central Park Karen situation. George Floyd was at a local store and the police was called over a $20 forgery incident. When the police arrived, and there's no sketchiness to this, it was all on videotape. He did not put up a struggle. He was handcuffed, but yet he was dead after a white police officer put his knee into his neck in a way that had him pinned where he suffocated to death and suffocated for almost 10 minutes. And the suffocation was clearly on camera while 3 other cops stood there and watched and did nothing. And about time the ambulance arrived, George Floyd lying dead on the concrete after screaming that he could not breathe, begging for his mother, begging for help, was dead and handcuffed and put in an ambulance, and you can tell that he was already deceased, still handcuffed, put on a gurney. At what point did they officially say he was deceased? I don't know if it was in an ambulance or if it happened at the hospital. I do not know. But what I do know is that the videotape itself so traumatizing and vicious. And to tell you the truth, I've seen people locked up for way less than what I witnessed seeing that video. And to see that four police officers being under investigation with their city, state, and federal government has not been arrested yet, has not been arrested yet after 2, 3 days now. 2, 3 days now. I've seen people get arrested for way less than this. Okay? This is an injustice, again, to blacks. This is why people are angry. This is why people are emotional and they're rioting because people are tired of this. They are absolutely tired of this. These three instances are not the only instances. For those of us old enough to remember the Rodney King beating, I remember that. I was old enough for that. Those police officers were put on trial, but were all found later not guilty. So I know we are actually looking for the police to be charged in the situation. And this is probably some of the clearest beginning to end footage I've ever seen for a case of this magnitude. The clearest footage. There's no arguing this. And this is another issue I want to make. There has been several cases where it seemed like there was some sort of cover up where the police filled in their own gaps. However, with this case, they could not do so because, like I said, it was filmed from beginning to end. There's no way to hide it. Now, what I do find to be sad is that there was just a news conference with state, I believe the county attorney, I don't know, I forgot what those people are called, I guess a county prosecutor, FBI, but yet nobody has even charged anybody with nothing. The same thing with Central Park Karen. How do you make a false police call? The whole thing is caught on video and she hasn't been charged. You're using precious resources right now. You have a quarantine/pandemic going on, and she tied up police resources because she was angry that a black man was actually asking her to put her dog on a leash. This is what actually upsets me. And like I said, if it was the other way around, if the black guy was on film saying that, okay, you're making me mad, I'm just going to call the police and say you're assaulting me, how fast would he have been picked up by now? How fast would he have been charged with false use of 911? He probably would have even been sued to pay the cost back, abusing 911. These cases, just like many others, I'm not trying to justify the violent rioting. However, I will say this: there has been a build up to this. Every time something like this happened, with this violence, this anger, with nothing seeming to move one way or the other, people get fed up. People are tired of these quiet marches. People feel like they're beyond marches. People are beyond just simple protesting at this point. And I am just going to close in saying that I really hope that not only Central Park Karen is charged, convicted, and made to pay back resources for abusing 911, but I also hope that the four officers involved in the senseless murder of George Floyd are not only charged, but convicted and made to serve real time, not just probation, not just a slap on the wrist, but to serve real time. Being charged at this point is not enough. There needs to be a conviction. There not only needs to be a conviction, but they really do need to spend a lot of time in prison where they belong. Those are my words on this. Like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to donate. My cash app is money symbol Nina 44132. I would love for you guys to share your thoughts on these senseless situations and leave your comments. And don't forget to become a subscriber and hit that bell to be notified of my next broadcast. Until the next episode, you guys, be blessed, stay safe, and enjoy your evening.